goes with the question of the day. So question of the day. Attention. Do you often feel like you lack attention on projects? Could be game development or other. So when it comes to attention, it's a little bit difficult sometimes. I think sometimes we get distracted. Like when we do game development, like you want to do a project or a hobby, right? You get your cell phone next to you and you get all these notifications like, oh, check out this app. Reminder, hey, have you checked out Facebook? Have you checked out Instagram? Whatever it may be, right? And then those kind of like distract you. That's why when I do game development, I like to be like no distractions. No, I set my notifications off. Unless if it's like a text or a call from my mom or something like that, or someone that you need to pick up, then that's fine. But if it's like kind of me like dumb stuff like, oh, hey, you haven't checked out Facebook in a long time, or you haven't checked out Instagram, those sort of things you need to like flip off. Those are, I would say it depends on the project, how focused I am. True, depends. Like some people, like if it's a boring project, I can see that being like a distraction, like kind of like, ooh, this is kind of boring. I don't want to do this anymore. That could be true. Like, what kind of boring projects could you guys have? Like, for me, for me, it does happen. Sometimes I'll get a really boring project where it's like, right, or it's maybe like kind of like a game I already done for a game jam, where I go, oh, I already done this, right? Or you kind of go, oh, this is kind of like boring. Maybe I'll just kind of like get sidetracked, look at my cell phone. That does happen too. But with me, I try not to. I've been doing this thing where I'm kind of, ignoring my cell phone. So if I'm in a public place where I have to wait, like the DMB, those areas, I'll put my cell phone on my pocket, and I won't look at it. I'll look around. I'll start, be relaxed a little bit, and then maybe I'll look at it for a little bit. But I'm trying to like control myself when it comes to cell phone use. I'm trying to like keep it chill when it comes to my cell phone or other things like random things like maybe there's a little fly or something. I'll try not to pay too much attention to noise. Those sort of like distractions. I don't get distracted. Just some large tasks are tough to divide into if I'm not sure how to do it. Okay, I can see that. So if it's like a hard task where it's like you're not sure how to do it, stepping away is good. I think that would be a good idea. Um, but usually what I'll do is I'll walk around, like I'll go walk, I'll go run or something, and that will help me clear up my mind. I'll say, oh, you know what? Why don't I try this? That often works with me. Or sometimes I'll try like different things, like a different approach. I think for me, distraction or having difficulty paying attention doesn't come often. I usually like try to get in the zone at least for a good 15 minutes, right? Maybe after 15 more minutes, then I'll probably like kind of like get distracted a little bit. I'll zone out a little bit, but I'll get back to what I'm doing. Like I'll get my attention will refocus back to what I'm doing. So like let's say in this case where I'm doing this code right here, right? Let's say I get this, like weird notification or like I get something on my phone. It's like, hey, check this out, blah 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 blah. Whatever it may be, right? I'll look at it, I'll look at my phone, or if it's a hard task, right? I'll look at my phone, just kind of like switch around. But then maybe after like 3 minutes, I'll get back to my task. So that's kind of like the important thing is when you do get distracted, or if it is a hard task, do you kind of like set yourself back to refocus? Do you guys have difficulty refocusing? Like in my case, I'm pretty good at refocusing back. I kind of like, oh shoot, it's my schedule to work or it's my schedule to do my hobby. For me, it's been okay. I've been good at it doing it. I try not to get distracted. I know it does happen, but I tend to kind of just refocus back. on what I need. It's like some of these, I don't want to use that big of a script. Let me see. Once I'm started, it isn't so bad, but hard to start sometimes. Yeah, I think the starting would be hard. I can see that. Like starting a new project can be really hard because you need that little motivation to start your project. Oh, I don't feel like doing it, right? Or let's say you are building your project, but you just go, oh, today is just not my day. I'm not gonna do it today. That does happen. Like instead of doing like maybe a hard task, let's say you're working on something new, like enemy AI, and you go, oh shoot, I have no idea how to do this. What you can do is just focus on another task that you already know, and eventually you just kind of like it comes to you, go, oh, I could do try this, right? That's kind of actually does help me out, where I go, oh, okay, I can try this, or just load it up. Oh yes, just you can just loading it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Or you can just, yeah, loading it up, like opening Unity. That's like the first step for your attention. Once you load up Unity, then you can proceed and make the game. But yeah, I've seen a lot of like devlogs too, where people say, "Oh, I just lost motivation on the game that I've been doing for so long," and I think it's just the attention, where it's just you kind of want to focus on something else more important, or maybe you want to try a new project. That could happen too. Or you just have a difficulty just paying attention, right? It could be coding, it could be like doing a difficult task that you don't want to do, but you have to do. That does happen sometimes. Oh, I don't want to do this sort of thing. Like it could be setting the animations, doing the sprites. That sort of thing could happen. I think loading it, I think opening Unity is like the beginning part. From there, you can look at your screen and you can kind of like lose your thought, just going, "What should I do next?" Right? It happens to me too. Sometimes I'll do that. It's like I'll look at my screen like, "Shoot, what the heck should I do?" But usually I'm pretty quick and go, "Oh, I know. I have an idea." Like today, I decided to work on a new project, which is gonna be a platformer, something simple like this. Or on prior project, I did something just like a little, right, a platformer here, where I never really got to finish it, but I just did it like a little test just to see how far I can get. And then I like how far I went. It's just I never did end up getting further because I wanted to do another type of project. But now I feel more motivated to finish this. I've been doing problems on Code Wars at least to get my coding better. That's a good idea, right? You can work on doing Code Wars. You can do all sort of things that can help you out with understanding like how to code better. And a lot of people just have a hard time understanding the code, but once you get it, once you understand everything, then it might be easier. Code Wars is a good idea. That's a good one to get your attention up, right? That way you can do difficult tasks, and then in case if you do stumble up on another similar coding project or error, you go, oh, that's right, did this before. I like that one. That's a good idea. Control flip. Usually what I'll do is for me, I don't know. I never had too much problem with distractions. Usually what I'll do is I'll have a set time where I'll just focus, right? I'll just pure focus for maybe 15 minutes. And then from there, if I don't get it, then I'll stop, right? I have my set time frame, like 3 hours, right? If I don't do too much in the 3 hours, that's okay. right? I'll go on, continue the next day, and then the next day I'll do another 3 more hours. Like I won't pressure myself either too. You don't want to like pressure yourself doing something that you like doing, like game development, to a point where you're going, oh, I hate game development. You don't want that either. You don't want to hate game development. You want to be in that point where it's like, I like game development. It's hard, but if I focus a little bit, at least 15 minutes at a time, then I'll understand it. But all good ideas, guys. I like that. Good question of the day.